What does one say to an ancient Nephilim ghost?
I suppose you start with...
Oh la la! Oh,
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another Diablo 3 Season 36 build-up video. Today this is going to be the challenge rift. We're going to start with EU. We're going to try and do all of them. We'll see how we get on, whether all three make it into the video. Can't say at this point. Thumbs up brightens my day. So EU1, I think, unfortunately, guys, this is a troll build. Someone's done this on purpose, I think. Not particularly fun, but you will be able to get through it. It is a Pestilence Necro. The good news is we have all of the Pestilence sat. So we've got the 2, 4 and 6 piece bonus activated. More good news, we have a Focus and Restraint, so we can use this for 50% damage and then another 50% damage, which that's a 1.5 modifier and then another 1.5 modifier. We've got the full Krelm set, which makes it a little bit faster moving, which is nice because the person who's made this build decided not to pick teleport. We've got the Zephyrian Amulet, so we are immune to lightning damage. If you remember that during the rift, well done, because I probably won't. We've got a Toxin, which is maybe helping very, very slightly. It will give us, like, once it's hit something, we can do 10% increased damage, I think. We've got a very useless Execution here. This will attack and kill enemies with 10% health, so executes them, hence the Executioner. We've got Aura Frailty, which executes at 15%, so completely redundant item, unfortunately. The Fulminator is not doing anything for us because the modifier on the suit here is specific to the skills, so this does nothing. This is actually useful. The Morbid Gauntlets, the Golem will drop a corpse, it'll poop one out every second, and that is useful because Pestilence is all about corpses. It's got one of the coolest 2 pieces on it. When you consume a corpse, it will fire a lance out at a nearby enemy. We've got Visceral Impact here with the stun for the physical room. We don't want to press this button. We want to blow stuff up with Corpse Explosion. The Cold Rune has been selected, so it will freeze enemies, so that's kind of nice. On the 4 piece, when we hit with Bone Spear, Corpse Lance, Corpse Explosion, we get 3% damage reduction, stacking up to 75%, so we're quite tanky. Definitely no problem surviving. I don't know why there's an XP gem in this stupid Pestilence helmet, but there is. Like, cooldown would have been better, life would have been better, anything would have been better, pretty much. But there we are. Now the 6 piece, each corpse you consume grants an empowered Bone Spear charge that increases damage of your next Bone Spear by 6,000, so you can do a bit of damage with Bone Spear. In addition, Corpse Lance and Explosion both get 6,000% increased damage. What is doing all the damage was pretty much is Corpse Explosion. When you Corpse Explode, it will also fire a lance out, and hopefully that will kill something. You can then Corpse Explode the corpse that's been left, and the lance will fire again. That's kind of how you're going. We've got an on-demand pile of corpses, Command Golem. It's on a 45-second cooldown. This player, because why the hell would you roll cooldown anywhere? Yeah, we've got no cooldown whatsoever. So unfortunately, it is used sparingly on elites. We've got Power Shift, so theoretically if we get this up to 10 stacks we get increased damage. Yeah, keeping this up is going to be quite difficult.
that's what she said.
Then we've got the Bone Spear, so left click will activate the first part of Focus, the Bone Spear will activate the other part, let's call it Restraint. So we need these 2 being pressed fairly frequently for the extra like 1.5 modifiers, and that will help out a bunch. So if we just go over here and have a little look, we don't do much damage, not really doing much, but as soon as we actually get ourselves some corpses, we can blow them up with Corpse Explosion, and then we can have, you see, like, lots more damage basically. And obviously we need to stack up this mechanic, so we will be a little slow to start with. Right, in we go. There is an elite somewhere here, I think, immediately. The follower has got the cheat death, so that is good. Right, so we've got our little icons here that we want to make sure that we are still doing. By all means, just go and blow up corpses somewhere else and try and drag them. Now, there is a conduit pylon. which is quite handy. So I suspect what the player did for this particular clear is just legged it to the other side to get the Condi. But as long as you keep up your focus and restraint buff, this isn't too bad, I don't think. So left click, right click, blow up corpses. Let's just get the hell out of dodge and try and advance into the map as much as we can. Unfortunate that this is such a pig of a rift. I hate it when it's stuff like this because this is annoying. Definitely not easy. You need to be coming back and, you know, this is like a juggling act, making sure we're keeping up with the focus and restraint, but always like tapping into this pile of corpses that we've got. If we feel like we want to use the golem like that, we can do, because corpse explosion really does hit like a truck. Now we're just heading, I think, away from the door and then up and round. It's a fairly straightforward tile set, I think. I don't think there's anything overly to get too lost on, but we can just about, I think, if we've got focus and restraint, at one-shot most stuff with corpse explosion / lance, which is obviously very handy. We're not going to complete this rift, guys, because I am actually going to use this account. So like here, we're struggling. It's because we've run out of corpses. We don't actually do much damage ourselves, but provided there are corpses, then we can blow stuff up. So let's grab power pylon. There's a blue in here. We really should have saved the golem for them. Let's see if we can drag them back. But yeah, really annoying rift this, I'm afraid to say. But as long as you can get one killed, then generally you can get them all done. And we've dropped one of focus or restraint, both back up now. Unfortunately, I don't think there's like a speed pylon. That would have been really handy if there was. Remember, we do have the corpses flying out of the golem every second. So let's use the golem on this dude, I think. There's a few shielding enemies, which is annoying. And again, I'm used to the Altar of Rights. I'm expecting extra orbs to drop out of these people, but it's not going to happen, is it? Yeah, not exactly the kind of like easygoing start we wanted for this season. Thanks for this, Blizzard. I'm not sure what the Rift Guardian is. I'm not sure how difficult or hard it's going to be. But I'm hoping it's going to be okay. But we are like pretty dicey on time, so we're going to have to leg it a little bit. I think we'll pick up some time here once we get this blue done. Ooh, and yeah, we definitely don't want to be frozen. That would be bad. Unfortunately, season theme obviously isn't going to help doing this at all. I suppose one thing we could have tried is, rather than doing the corpse explosion, we could maybe try and do the lance, because that might actually grab the lance. But then we need the target. It's tricky. This isn't the easiest thing in the world to play, but we have pulled ahead now, at least from the timer. We're going to save the golem, I think. We just need him to drop us a little corpsey. But there is the Condi coming up. But as I say, once we get off this absolutely awful tile set, which the exit, I think, is not too far away. But who thinks of this stuff up, man? Who's built this? This is on purpose. There's absolutely no way somebody's genuinely put this together, thinking, I know this is gonna fun. This is gonna work. This is just some absolute twerp who's gone, I'm gonna put some piece of garbage build together, run around until I find myself a conduit pylon, because it's gonna be hilarious. But yeah, I mean, hey, we all have to have our fun in some particular way, I guess. Right, off this god-awful floor. And there we go, there's the Condi. Now, there is a yellow somewhere over here, down by the right. So we're going to pop the golem, if he'll actually show up to the party, which it does. And yeah, again, we've pulled ahead a little bit more now. Condi obviously does not last that long. I'm going to try and get as far into this as we can. But it doesn't last that long. And we're on to the next floor. 45 seconds left. So yeah, it's going to be a bit sweaty. I think the opening night, not like one of these ones with like multiple minutes left. So we're down to a minute. You really are going to want to have the golem like up for the boss, I'm going to guess, because obviously it's that pile of corpses that will do like a whole bunch of damage. So that would be it. Let's just have a quick look. Who is it? That dude, Vasilius, no good. But yeah, you'd have another 40 seconds. Look at all these corpses. You can drag them over here, blow them up, drop the golem, and that'll be fine. So I reckon, whilst it's a bit of a pig, it is certainly doable. So let's move on and have a look at the US. In the US Challenge Rift, we've actually got a Rathma Necro. Again, good news, we do have the full 6-piece set. Bad news, we've got a Scythe of the Cycle, which is really not going to be very helpful to us because we've got no secondary skills, so no modifier on that. We've got Ledger's Disdain. Again, that's not going to help us. We're not taking Grim Scythe. We've got a Dainty's Binding for damage reduction, but we've got no curses on the bar. I don't think any of these things apply a curse automatically. Importantly, we do have the Bones of Selena. So this is the pairing braces for the Army of the Dead. We do have a Compass Rose and Traveller's Pledge. This, I think, is actually a genuine person trying to genuinely play Rathma, because they've got a Rogue, they've got a Tasker and Theo, and I think what they're trying to do here is just stack up a bit of attack speed on the pets, because the 2-piece, the faster the minions hit, deal damage, they will help us out and reduce the Army of the Dead cooldown. 4-piece minions no longer take damage. We get 1% damage reduction each time they hit something, so 75%. So similar to the Pestilence Necro on the EU, we're going to be quite tanky. Now we've got this big permanent minion and Army of the Dead bonus. Now, obviously, Army of the Dead is on gigantic 120 cooldown. Unfortunately, we've only got it, I think, on the shoulders and in the helm. We've got a bunch of attack speed in other places. We've got the physical Death Valley rune on, which is good. Again, we've got the Siphon Power Blood Shift. We've got minions in the form of skeletons. We're going to have to spam out revives, I think, to make sure that they're nice and plentiful. We do have Teleport, which is nice with the double charge for the corpse. Sorry, for the teleport, it doesn't drop a corpse. That's wrong set, filthy. And we've got potentially 30% damage reduction out of our bone armor. We do also have a Bane of the Powerful and a trap that is level 5. So when we stun, we will get the extra damage out of that. Because stun, of course, is a control impairing effect. We've got the life on hit from the pets. We've got the cooldown. So when we do take a load of damage, Blood's Power is going to go off for us and give us some cooldown. We can increase our Siphon Blood attack speed. Not sure how that's particularly helpful. And poison abilities now slow enemies. I guess that synergizes with the Compass Rose because you're getting the slow off. I'm going to guess that this does absolutely no damage, bar when we press the Land of the Dead, and it's just going to melt the screen, and then we need to get the minions up quickly, and then we just have to wait here basically until it's back again, and then we press it, and then it's just going to take a bit of time. So let's hope for density here, guys, and then that should be okay. Festering Woods would be nice. Oh, it's not extreme. Wow, okay, that is cool. Let's just pop that immediately. Let's try and see if we can get the skellies going. Yeah, oh, look at that. Lovely, lovely stuff. Need to grab the orbs, man. Right, unfortunately, we don't quite have cooldown that we would like for this. Ooh, speed pylon. So this is just about being patient and waiting for the Rathma thing to come back, the Army of the Dead. I'm not sure if there's going to be anywhere particularly good to group the stuff up, but my plan is literally just to press this every single time it's ready. And it's looking fairly good so far. We just need some elites, man. Very elite, kind of heavy build. Oh, there's one right there. Bummer. Now, if we stand still, we do extra damage, but that really doesn't seem to be the main thing here that's restricting us. Let's gobble up those. This might take a couple of runs just to learn the map and where we need to go. I think we've got the revives up at 5. Just need to wait, and then boom. Yeah, nice. And we know it's going to be juicy in density because it is an Oryx, so I guess we don't have to worry too much. Conduits, thank you very much. I already like this miles better than the EU one. So let's head down here. I'm guessing exit is this way. Another delicious elite. Hit the big boom button. Oh yes. Okay, this is definitely not worth panicking over. It is extremely beneficial. So up here, nice little kind of like not tunnel map, but corridor map, I guess. Yeah, we'll just spam those out again. This is going to be very easy and extremely doable on console as well, I think, because we're doing so much damage, especially with the conduit pylon as well, and we can teleport out of problems, but we're really tanky as well. So yeah, this is good. Well done. This person has actually tried to make a build. It functions. Incidentally, one of the most powerful suits, I think, next season, the Rathma. And a power pylon. Look at this. I mean, this is truly an Oryx stream. Yeah. Okay. NA for the win. Not bad. It is a fun set to play. When you get maps like this build is really nice. It's very satisfying to see the gigantic, like, army of the dead running in. It is quality. Where it really sucks is when you don't get density. It's absolutely not fun to play them. Let's pop it one last time, and then we are unfortunately just going to have to wait here until our pets reset it for us. And then as soon as we do, we'll probably one-shot the Rift Guardian, which we do. Right, that was the US one. 3.5 minutes, super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Let's go look at Asia. So on the Asia server, we've got ourselves a Legacy of Dreams Mage Necro. Unfortunately, this build in the game has dropped off a lot because the change to the Haunted Visions probably a couple of years ago now really killed it, because this will no longer duplicate the mages for us. So it's good that we've got the Circle of Niluge Evolving, because not only do we get an additional skeletal mage, they last 4 seconds longer, so it's really important. They used to be doubled with Haunted Visions, but unfortunately now it is not so. We don't even have Simulacrum on the bar, so this is basically a pretty much wasted item. We do have the Gift of Death rune, so they will drop a corpse. That is going to help us because the Devouring Aura is going to replenish whenever we automatically consume a corpse. We're doing the Life Support rune, so we're not doing the full Empty of Essence Singularity, which would be more damage. But it is what it is. They do cost health, unfortunately. Ugh, that worries me. We've got Aura of Frailty in, so we will execute anything at 15%. Similar to the US, we've got the Army of the Dead for the big damage. And we've got Bone Armor with Vengeful Armaments. So, yeah, that's not amazing. We could have done with the Dislocation for the defensive stun, but never mind. We've got an Ancient Convention of Elements with a Bane of the Powerful rank 5. We've got a rank 2 Enforcer. We've got some Skeletal Mage and Crit Chance on our Ledger's Disdain, which is Ancient. We've got an Ancient Weapon with attack speed and some crit damage in. Got some Ancient Iron Toe Mud Sputters. So the nearer we are to death, the faster we move. We've got the Tashkon Theo, so the mages will at least attack quicker. That's nice. We've got Witching Hour for some crit damage and attack speed. Again, that's nice. The Aquila is not going to help us whatsoever, I don't think, because I suspect we will always be low on essence, but if we are high on essence, it will help us, I guess. We've got Siphon Blood, Drain Life, I guess, to try and recover. And we've got Broken Crown. Now, obviously, again, I'm guessing this is probably a new player who is attempting a build here again. So I'm hoping this isn't going to be a cheese one. The Broken Crown, of course, emanates, so your follower may as well use this, but perhaps the player did not know that. So I think this is just going to be a case of basically just pump out the mages. Pump, and try and get them up to 10. Right, let me swap Siphon Blood onto left click, because that at least makes sense to me. Ah, right, we gain the... do we gain... Oh, we gain Singularity as well with the Reserve Volition. I forgot. Right, okay, so we're in business, yeah, okay. Okay, that's fine. I was worried for a second we didn't have the damaging rune on the mages. Excellent. Right, I guess the Army of the Dead should do some decent damage on an elite. So let's just go in and try. Now, Essence is going to be a little bit of a problem. And obviously, the higher the Essence figure is, the more damage we're going to do. So we really could do with popping the mage, like at the top. But also we want mages out, because mages be doing damage. And obviously, the more mages that come out, the more damage they do. Now, they are wrecking, so that's good. I think the Army of the Dead probably would have completely wiped that guy out anyway. But as you can see, without the amulet, it is kind of hard to keep your mages at like 6, 8, especially if you're trying to like get them out on decent essence. Now I'm just moving forward. You probably hear my spacebar clacking. Unfortunately, I need to get a new keyboard. This one is way too loud. But I'm trying to like not hold down force move, because the automatic corpse consumption I don't think works when you hold down force move. But this is looking fairly straightforward, right? Don't go up there, guys. There is no need to go up there. That is the wrong way. Let's just get another mage out. Again, this will thrive off density, because kills equal corpses, corpses equal essence, essence equals high-powered mages equal corpses, and that's kind of going to be how it is. So not bad. EU really has been given the shaft, I guess, this time around. With the challenge rift, because ours really sucks. Follower's got the cheat death. I mean, of course, that's why we were testing that. It wasn't potato gameplay, just stood there like a donut. We get another nice map on the second floor, so I'm hoping this is going to be a pretty straightforward one. And you can see I don't know if you watched the America one, but like the difference in not having the Rathma set for the cooldown is huge. The Reaper's Wraps would have been pretty nice for this build, because then we could have powered ourselves up with a bit of essence every time we'd gone over one of these health globes. But sadly not. Right, we've got the Army of the Dead back. Okay, so it's not straight up, guys. You want to be turning right at this T-junction. And it does make a difference, because the lack of enemies just makes it so much harder to get these mages out. But I mean, they are tearing through things, so maybe we don't need to worry too much about their like essence level. Just as long as we can just get them out, I think probably works. Because every so often, like every 12 seconds, you're going to get a 4-second bonus from your conventional elements on physical. So that's pretty good. But we still need like the minimum amount to get the skill active. And I guess, well, I don't really know when to use the Army of the Dead, because I feel like it's a waste if it's not an elite. But then I'm also thinking that it's possibly... Ooh, now this is handy. Channeling Pile, and this should really get us going. So you can pop your Army of the Dead before then, and it will reset for you. We've got 50 seconds left. And again, another nice map. Awesome, awesome. So let's try and do the... Well, that actually didn't do anywhere near as much damage as I thought it might have done. So Mage is definitely stronger than the Army of the Dead. But yeah, pretty comfortable. First try, you know, no drama, no bother. So if you fancy playing the game on Asia server early, just to get those soul shards, practice your leveling, challenge rift if you want to use the baggy, is going to be pretty straightforward. So it's just us EU boys who have got something difficult to do. Really looking forward to this next season. I think Soul Shard's going to be really strong. I didn't get the chance to play it much back in season 30. My life circumstances were just different. I'm hoping to really give it a good go and smash the first couple of weeks and get a load of videos out before D4 comes, because realistically, I still think most people are going to go check that out. I probably won't bother. Let's go back up here. We could go to the next floor, but we've only got 1% of progress, so we're banking on there being at least an enemy to kill up this way. Come on, game, don't let me down. These spiders should be enough. And indeed they are. So let's drop the Army of the Dead on Basilius. And there we go. Easy peasy, guys. No worries. Right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Best of luck for Season 36. That was the EU, US and Asia servers. All done. Yeah, have fun. I've been Filthy Casual. Take it easy. Peace.